We're back in a circle of trust with a big green eye that makes your brown eye pucker. It's Rivals Fight Night. Doctor Strange, a.k.a. Rajaro, touching your stuff while you're not looking. In fact, you are looking, but he's still touching your stuff, and you can't do anything about it. Sucks! I am Agamotto. Welcome back, everybody. We got Achilleos and Jake. I am your host, Chris Puckett, Berber, Patapim, and Team 1. Achilleos, I know it's 5 a.m. over there in Korea, but don't you miss my voice this early?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I miss the days of us living in Los Angeles when you'd sneak into my house and just whisper sweet nothings into my ear while I was asleep. Those are good times. Definitely
Great
happened.
Shout out Danny Bear for letting me in.
My wife is in the corner. She's looking at me like, who the hell are you talking
Who is Puckett? Trust me, he's in New York. We're safe, honey. We got Berber, Patapim taking on Team 1. This should be a party because Team 1 just showed you what they're capable of. They can roll over you with multiple compositions. They've got a pretty strong Ultron. On the other side, Berber Patapim's got some big feet and a guy named Tanuki, the first ever Wolverine to catch my eye from Europe. Jake, let's jump in with this roster. Tell me about the Big Nose Squad.
So Berber Patapim, for me, this is a team that's going to put up a much fiercer challenge to Team 1. Both of these teams competing, trying to score the belt here in Rivals Fight Night. But Berber Patapim, likely I'm going to be focused mostly on Pokey and Tanuki. We talked just about, the importance of flexibility on the duelist role. Can you also have a very strong strategist lineup, especially with Ultron, Adam Warlock looking pretty strong in the meta right now? On top of that, Poly and NZO, can they keep up with the full court aggression that Team 1 was putting on in that last series from the Vanguard side? So I'm very interested to see how Berber Patapim has adapted to the new meta in Marvel Rivals. I think they have the flexibility to make this competitive. They've looked really strong last week against Virtus Pro. They really put them to the test, taking VP to Game 5 for the first time anyone has. I think period in Marvel Rivals, in any tournament, any competition, is pretty impressive. So this is a team that I think is going to be a match, rather, that I think is going to be pretty interesting, pretty competitive, especially as a showcase of what's new in Marvel Rivals.
It's gonna be a party. Berber Patapim going to a Game 5, making Virtus Pro rethink playing tonight. Instead, they're watching film. They're hiding their strategies for the Ignite series next week. Meanwhile, Berber Patapim knows there's $1,000 up for grabs. And the only time that VP wasn't here, Luminosity gathered that $1,000. This is the second time in 14 weeks that the opportunity has been presented. Will they be able to walk away as champions, or is it Team 1 collecting more cash? Let's take a look here at what's going down here, because Berber Patapim has been in 1, 2, 3, 4 finals, but it's been Team 1 in 2 of the last 3. Jake, is there a stronger team out of the 2 in EU right now?
I really think these teams are actually quite evenly matched. I mean, Berber Patapim had such a huge come up last week that I started to think, okay, maybe they are. I think that I would probably call them the favorites based on how close they played VP as like a standard bearer. But Team 1 has also been a team that has been doggedly at the heels of Virtus Pro, and they haven't gotten as many map wins, pushed them to that limit of going to Game 5, but they have played a lot of very competitive maps as well. So I think this one is too close to call, especially with the recent meta shift. I'd give a slight edge to Berber Patapim, but I really think this is anybody's game. Either of these teams could come away with the title, and I expect the match to be pretty close.
It's a new champion. I'm excited. History is being made tonight. Let's take a look at Team 1, because they've given us a little sample of what they've got. Krakoa is the first map. I don't know what to expect here when it comes to compositions, Jake. Are we expecting people to take to the sky already with Ultron and maybe an Iron Man, Storm, any of that? Or is it going to be ground and pound like we saw back on Hell's Heaven?
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see how the ban phase ends up playing out. I do think the mass res comp is like always a pretty stable choice. We've also seen Hellas look pretty strong. I feel like in theory, this should be a decent map for some of your longer range damage dealers, but depending on the different round you go to, you may need to bring out a very different comp. Like there's a very enclosed point on this map. There's one that is, super wide open with those portals that you teleport back and forth across the map. And actually, I think all the maps have some kind of portal you can mess with. So this is a map that I think is very open-ended strategically and allows teams to really flex that ability to handle any sort of different comp. And Team 1, neither of these teams I don't think is going to be flat-footed by that.
We got a bunch of casters from all over the world joining us tonight. Shout out to Leg Day. You've seen him on some of the Rivals cast. You've got Why Not Be Casting, who should be working on Rivals as soon as we have a seat for you. Why not? In fact, you can take my seat one night here on Fight Night. Love having you every week. We've got Mike Rach, who I heard is an upcoming caster. He started on Minecraft. His buddies were vouching for him to join my all casters terrible team to compete in our Rivals online tournaments. Mike, let's connect after this one. Your predictions have been terrible. I want to hear you on the mic, though. It's got to be better than the performance you have in chat. Achilleos, I'm told the players are almost ready. I'm done riffing. Let's talk a little bit about Krakoa because there's teleporters. It's a little bit crazy. This was the new map that everyone was hyped up about when they announced Emma Frost coming to the game.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be one of my real first kind of like looks in on it. I think, but I'm very curious about this draft and how this is going to go, because I think that if you're team one, you probably just want to try to lean into what you were just running because it was finding good value. I think the onus is more on Berber Patapim to actually ban out some of the things that they were seeing in that first series if they're concerned about it. So I'm curious if they are, but for now it's just going to be a quick little save there on the Frost.
Okay, so Emma Frost is locked in for Berber Patapim. Trust me, was playing that in the previous matchup. Expect it to be saved on their side, Jake. Yep, there it is.
Yeah, these first three bans have looked relatively stable to me, with teams banning the Magneto and the Luna, and then keeping Emma Frost, where, you know, at least Emma Frost, you're not as worried about some like broken team up. The character is just very strong, very high skill. Whereas I think for the Luna ban, Luna's just already really good. Like copied Luna ult with Loki has always been kind of broken. And then on top of that, the Hawkeye team up seems like a real threat, especially here in this new season with the new team up. So, you know, maybe pretty standard first three. I think these back three, there were the opportunity for teams to define themselves, but so far still even, both banning the Loki as well. Not
it's a mirror
those
match.
Copied ults.
Ultron is locked in. Berber Patapim going with the strategist protection. On the other side, there will be no Adam Warlock to team up with that.
Oh, they're switching about it.
What's happening here? Mantis?
I mean, no matter what, I think
Luna? Already gone.
Either of these will be fine for them. So they'll get rid of the Adam Warlock, get rid of the mass res. So
they might
I think
protect an Adam for themselves here and ensure that they can play mass res. I wouldn't hate that.
No, what?
Psylocke, okay.
Okay, so they're going with the Emma Frost Psylocke team up. Is pretty sick, honestly. Although I think actually the matchup is pretty good against mass res, because mass res doesn't deal the best with Psylocke just like hunting and pecking at your backline. It's not, you know, you want to be like we saw from Team 1 in that last series, where they're always setting the pace, they're always being super aggressive. I feel when Psylocke is flanking you and starting to cut up the back line and you're not turning and looking forward on the strategist, that's where the comp looks a little bit more challenging to execute. And Berber Patapim has been really solid on the Psylocke Emma Frost combo. So we'll see if the Ultron or the Psylocke ends up being better. I kind of give it to the Psylocke. I kind of like that vision a little bit more. I wonder if Ultron is going to be able to deal the damage he wants to deal when the rest of his team is being harassed by a Psylocke.
All right, so you see both teams getting rid of Magneto and then banning out 3 strategists. Your healer choices are narrowed. Ultron missing his buddy in Adam Warlock. Potentially Mantis could come into play. Let's see what happens. It's Krakoa. It's map 1. It's your EU finals. A first look at the new meta with the Ignite ban system.
Alrighty, well.
Crook.
Gonna go into this one is
PC. He's getting back in.
Might be coming back to us. It might be coming back to us. Timer's still ticking down though.
Yeah, you can pause now in Marvel Rivals. Start chilling.
So, okay. Quick little pause. Get Crook back into the lobby. Get things underway.
The Human Torch looks pretty real to me. Berber Patapim are not swapping with only a few seconds left in the spawn. And I mean, it's interesting to me that Human Torch went from this like always first ban forever into just like absolutely nothing in terms of play rate. You know, to me that's like a surprising result, even with, you know, patch changing and things being different. Like how top tier Torch was. I kind of want to see what Berber Patapim can get done with this character.
Okay. All right, he's in there. We had to update the UI, but don't you worry. Crook is in. He's running an Ultron for Team 1. We got a 6v6. Game 1 begins.
All right, back over on to the Iron Man. Thank you, Puckett, by the way, as we'll get that team up through with the Ultron. Just to get some splash damage in as said, Human Torch dancing around the pillars, but already, okay, Milio going to be taken down there, losing out on the Psylocke battle. Solid opening kill to be found. The Beam looking for the execution here, but is he able to stay alive? PK coming up with another one. I mean, Pokey is just going crazy here.
Dude, Pokey is so sick on the Psylocke. They give him this protect quite often because he just makes mincemeat out of the competition, just chopping up Team 1, cutting them to pieces. And Berber and Patapim are going over the comp where it's not so much about the team ups, right? I guess they have the Fantastic Four team up with the Invisible Woman and the Human Torch and Psylocke and Emma Frost, but these aren't for me like game-breaking team ups that like radically change the way your comp plays. They just allow you to be a little bit more effective, have a little bit more of a powerful burst of damage, something you can deploy, a little bit more survivability for the Human Torch. And so far, Team 1 struggling to get value off the Ultron.
Oh, okay, well, Pokey, quick little exit over to the side there. Gotta say, I hate when players don't have their name matching what they submit to us. So when we go to the roster screen and then we get in game, it's different. It always throws me off.
Remove $10 from his paycheck if he wins.
Yes, there shall be deductions. We'll see what else he's going to be able to find up and over the top here. Look at the duke it out once again against Milio. It nearly comes away with that a limb. Just so damn clean on this.
Yeah, it's scary. Both Psylocks now dueling on the flanks. Naga has that ultimate online. Look if he can find the opportunity to get the connection. Here's Crook over the top with the Ultron ultimate as well. Starting to dump damage. So far, Cloak and Dagger, though, is giving just enough healing and damage on the point. Stabilizing for now. Butterfly Dance into the backline, and this is going to start to lead to some kills. Team 1, they just don't have the strategist ultimates to be able to tank through that. And that's sort of the cost of the Ultron, right? You use this ultimate, if you don't come up with a decisive kill, especially when you force the Cloak and Dagger ultimate, it's like that Cloak and Dagger ultimate lasts so long. Team 1 are just getting outlasted in the fight, and then the counter punch is just too strong for them. They don't have the invisible boundary ready, and they can't sustain.
Naga maybe needing to find the bit of an opener here. Milio as well, struggling to even try to get into the back lines because has just been held at bay here by Pokey at every twist and turn. 84% built up though on this opening point. Berber Patapim very much set to try to get themselves a 100-0 closeout as, trust me, trying to push forward and falling quite low. Ultimate's going to be sent here. Team 1 trying to get a little bit desperate with it as they are able to go ahead and get a trade up in the fight. 2-1. Flip coming through here into the favor of the overtime, going to be forced out. The cap ultimately will be found, it would seem here. Last minute contest coming through from the side of Berber Patapim as they're trying to get their way back in. Tanuki,
hold on.
Set up, but okay, Pokey's still here, finds the kill. Naga going to be taken down, and suddenly we're not done yet. Pajaro sprinting around there with Captain America up and over the top here into the air, because Pokey nearly gets the execute there. Looks for a little bit more, is really just trying to take down its Ultron, but can't quite make it happen. Milio does manage to go ahead and pick off the enemy Psylocke, but Rogero now going to be dead. The overtime starting to tick down. Portal going to be set up here from Trust Me. They dive out of it. Managed to get the recontest. The OT going to be held at bay here for the moment, but Ken comes up with one. Naga trades one back, but it's still going to be Berber Patapim coming out on top. The clutch up there is just so damn good.
They're so clean with those refights, and I mean, it felt like Team 1, they knew that down 99-0, they needed to be a little greedy. They needed to hold on to a couple of those ultimates. But the punchback is just too brutal from Berber Patapim. This is another mark, I think, of some of the top teams is how well they fight when they're down one, right? It's one thing to be in the setup you want and the thing that you've practiced and to be able to have a good fight. Sure, a lot of teams can do that. But the teams, for me, that can be down, they can be behind in the team fight and still have the confidence to attempt a clutch and actually succeed at it. Everybody playing their part well and staying alive to get deeper into those fights. That's the mark of a very strong team. And Berber Patapim make their mark here. Round 1, 100-0 over Team 1.
And that's going to be a bit of a painful way to lose out of the round. Not only is it 0, but you're so close to being able to get that flip and having that opportunity, but just narrowly squander it and have it slip through your fingertips. Right back over to the starter match here, though, as it will be back over onto the Human Torch here for Tanuki. And yeah, Naga is going to match.
So Team 1 saying, okay, you guys strat gapped us. Comp gap, we're just going to take the mirror match now. I think this is not a bad thing to do if it's like a newer meta and you're not exactly sure what's the best. If you get blown out like that, just comp match people and make this about deathmatch. Simplify the game for you.
Pokey going right back over to the namesake here after getting it sustained back up towards full. As okay, Ultis is going to be unleashed, and that's going to be Milio Fate taken down. Crook cleaned up as well. Dance of the Butterfly just delivering results. And Pokey ultimately able to just shrug off. I mean, Rajar is doing his damnedest. He's trying to just beat down this Psylocke, but Pokey's just Like, yeah, okay, that's fine. Just keep wailing on me. I'm going to kill everybody else around you. Opening cap is once again here in the hands of Berber Patapim.
It's an interesting comp because these strategists are so slippery, right? With the Invisible Woman, able to dance away with Invis, Cloak and Dagger, notoriously difficult to get your hands on. And so I feel like this ends up with a lot of these duelists trying to kill each other first. So Human Torches, Psylocke, both very offensive-minded characters, taking the fight to one another. And an early engage advantage here for Pokey, trying to take this one out. The clone, though, giving a bit of an edge, and Melio's able to secure that one.
Yeah, off by a hair there. Outback does get scooped up to Emilio, right back up to full HP. Attack over onto the fight now coming through from the side of Team 1, trying to get this flip into their favor a little bit faster than we saw them try in the previous round. Tanuki down to a sliver, somehow has not been getting any heals here. Doesn't manage to stay alive though, and eventually will get topped back up. Full energy available here for the Emma Frost, as just 2 quick kills can be found. Faith taken down, and this fight starts looking decent for the side of Team 1. They get rid of the raid boss, they get rid of Pokey, but they cannot get themselves a flip into their favor. The cleanup is going to be just too damn good. Berber Patapim still maintain control, now crashing past 60%.
Yeah, just strategist soul gap there. Ken got the invisible boundary. Level 1 Crook just didn't quite have it online when he was cut down. They tried to commit the cap ult to bridge the gap, but a little bit too late, and that's going to be a costly one now. They need to, once again, get onto point and pop this boundary. That's how you have to take this fight. But Berber Patapim have their own cap ult to try to sustain through it. So it's far from a free fight here for the retake for Team 1. They're going to need to have some individual prowess to get this one through.
And Pokey is okay. I was going to say damn close to being able to lap Milio there as far as the ults are concerned, but Milio does find the opening pick to go ahead and get the kill. Naga pulling the trigger here on the ultimate, match by Tanuki, but so far the fight looking to go decently well here for the side of Team 1. Tucked back around the corner. And it's Naga barely staying alive. Milio with some very solid kills. Looks like they will be able to get this flip into their favor, but not before that point hits 99%. So right at the last little moment, and will be Team 1 getting their first taste of percentage here on Krakoa.
And, I mean, these are some pretty impactful fight wins. Melio winning those opening duels with Pokey really allows him to turn and then bring the fight to the tank line. Looks like they're setting up for a potentially very aggressive move here. Invis in from the sidelock, maybe looking for a butterfly dance straight to the back line.
Goes in, HP bars getting hacked up there, but Alex able to stay alive. Good healing is found. Ken eventually does get picked. Those Naga finds the kill, but now Poke says, okay, it's my turn. Opening kill and sends out the ultimate. Just going to be a 1-for-1 trade thus far, as he's out trying to stay alive here. Still in control of the point is Team 1. Berber Patapim just trying to fight their way back over to it. Dash forward right up into the face of the Captain America. Pokey feeling fearless here, it would seem. Notes the enemy Psylocke, looks to try to get the hunt there on Emilio, but cannot find the picks. Team 1 successfully able to go ahead and disengage back over towards the point itself, but that is going to be space offered up now to Berber Patapim, who sent out ults of their own. And holding, Crook dead, Bait dead as well. As Team 1, oh, it's all falling to pieces here, it would seem. The flip now threatened, not guaranteed, as Rajar is the only one left alive.
Can you strange portal in time? This is so tight. They do have that invisible boundary if they can get the strange portal. He maybe,
so
I don't know. The overtime touch there, but that's not enough.
Yeah, they needed Rajar to try to get the touch there as the portal was just about to come through, but he was just too low, isolated, and alone. So the cleanup comes in. A bit more contention in the second round, but ultimately it's going to be Krakoa as a 2-0 Berber Patapim.
Man, those are a couple extremely close fights there where Berber Patapim are able to take down level 1 Crook like 1 or 2 seconds before he would have popped that invisible boundary. I mean, if he just lives that 1 second longer, has done just a little bit more healing or damage, and has the ultimate online earlier, those are very different engagements. So this is really showing to me how closely matched those teams are, especially playing the mirror comp. I mean, Melio was bringing it to Pokey, making that very competitive in round 2.
Let's take a look here at some of the numbers. It's going to be Enzo on the Emma Frost earning the MVP honors in game, over 11,000 damage, nearly 1,600 damage blocked, or 16,000 damage blocked. But more importantly, holding the door, holding those chokes, enabling Pokey to pop off. I really like the Psylocke. Does that continue moving forward in this series, Jake? Why was she such a crucial factor in game 1?
Well, I think, Psylocke is great on domination. It's a map type that just inherently offers a lot of opportunities to flank and be, hitting into the back line. And Psylocke really thrives in those chaotic environments where you can pick somebody off, stealth away, and kind of rinse and repeat that process. And then with Emma Frost getting protected early in these drafts, getting that team up with the clone, does give you a pretty crazy DPS stim, right? You show up on something, you really want to get that kill done, pop the clone, and man, it's a problem to be able to try to tank through that, especially if your team isn't quite ready for you. So this is a comp that puts a lot of pressure on strategists in particular, with all these different flankers hitting the back line. You've got Cap, Human Torch spamming from above, Psylocke just crushing you from behind. This is a very high skill comp that really tests the players, not only their deathmatching capability, but the coordination to focus fire in the chaos.
Can we give a shout out to our production, by the way? Achilleos, who does a billion games, jumps in at 4 a.m., crushes the play-by-play. Then I start talking about Psylocke. 12 seconds later, Solomon and our amazing observer crew have Psylocke highlights rolling. I work on Call of Duty every weekend. That's my full-time job, but this is my favorite show right now. You guys are crushing it.
Well,
we love you too, Bucket.
The kind words, Puck. It's always a pleasure to have you here.
Oh yeah.
But
rock out now.
I mean, Pokey was crushing it more than I could have really anticipated, to be frank. I mean, usually when I come onto the show, which is few and far in between, I'm here like every third week or something like that.
Yep.
I don't get to really see EU because it happens early. I'm usually on NA, and
we let you sleep in till 8 a.m. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of first exposure for me here for Berber Patapim as well as Pokey, and you know what? Didn't know his game, and I respect it. Man's clean.
Berber Patapim is for real, man. This team is for real. Like the show they put on against VP last week, to me, I won't forget that easily, right? Like I think they did kind of choke a little bit in that game 5, but to even be competitive, right? To be able to go toe to toe, take maps.
Oh,
off
no
VP.
one takes maps off VP.
Exactly. That for me was a paradigm shift in EU. There's been a long time where VP has been number one with a bullet, like, oh, they're just gonna win everything. It's not even gonna be close. And Berber Patapim cracked that armor. Even VP is probably starting to be like, whoa, like all right, things have shifted. I mean, and I always talk about how hard it is for a team to stay on top that long when everyone's gunning for you, everyone's watching and learning from you. And Berber Patapim maybe have really leveled up from that process of grinding out match after match against these strong teams here at Fight Night.
Do you think maybe it's also part of the new ban system? I know it's been mostly mirror matches so far, but do you think this is going to allow some teams to separate from each other? Because previously, Virtus Pro, you knew they were instantly going to ban Groot 100% of the time. You were never going to see Groot in a game. Jake, does this new system allow for it, or do you still ban out Groot with your first pick?
So the thing with the new system, I am not a huge fan of it, just to be completely honest with you, because I think
so hit me with it.
The new system, it incentivizes you theoretically to just ban the strongest characters always. Whereas when you're global banning, i.e. if you do a ban that also bans the hero for yourself, if you say, you know what, yeah, Human Torch is the best character and I am the best Human Torch, you don't have to ban Human Torch, because you're like, I will just gap you on the best character if you have that confidence. And frankly, a lot of these players at this level, they really do have that confidence to say, you know what, bring me the strongest hero in the game. I will carry the game. Like, let them have it too. I don't care. Like, and so a team that has to ban Human Torch, they're scared of that matchup. It's like saying something about their identity as a team. Whereas when you're just banning for the opposition, theoretically, you should just ban the best things in the game always, because you could use them yourself. Like, I'm going to ban Human Torch from you because I want to play Human Torch myself. And so it should theoretically lead to more mirror matches. And I think that's the opposite of what the devs wanted. I think they wanted the system to introduce more non-mirrors. And I think they might just be wrong about what the strategic incentives this ban system creates.
All right, so we're going to have Jake diving in with a very fair take on the ban and protect system. Meanwhile, I'm going to turn our direction to a very important conversation in the chat. This is Deppy Dave asking Leolos, who we said was the MVP from the losing team of the previous match. He's asking, Leolos, when are you going to do maid outfit? Maid outfit when?
Asking the real questions. We don't pull back the heavy hitters.
How many subs would it? I'm guessing 2,000 minimum.
How many for you to do it, Puckett?
Oh, I'm going 100,000.
It's like 4.
Yeah, those photos
it's right here in the closet, bro.
Yeah, actually, Bren, let me borrow his. All right, we got to jump back into the action here because the path is ready. Our bans and protects are live. Shout out to Bren. He looks great no matter what he's wearing. And once again, you will see no Magneto. Mr. No Fun, Mr. Alt Counter is out of it. Emma Frost is going to be protected on one side. Luna banned out for Team 1. And now Berber Patapim is going to get their turn after this protect.
I mean, these first 3 have been pretty locked in. I kind of don't expect any changes. I think the Luna Hawkeye team up is like looking a little crazy right now. That frozen arrow is kind of insane for like spamming people on the walk up. And Luna has just been a mainstay as like the best strategist or top tier strategist for a while. And I wonder if there's any opportunity to really change it. I don't feel like Team One want to take a different approach. I think what they say is, all right, round 1, we got comp capped. Round 2, we mirror match you. It's very close. We're just going to run it back. They're also a team that has the confidence, you know, that they can win in the mirror match. And they should, I think. So I don't think they need to change anything drastically. However, we're going to Yggdrasil path. So I wonder if there will be different prioritization. If things like Ultron Iron Man using those skyboxes, to me, the Yggdrasil path might be the best map for the Ultron Iron Man team up. So that could be more impactful here.
We haven't seen it yet. So maybe it will be time to bring it out. Ultron going to be protected. Psylocke going to be locked in.
Berber Patapim, I'm saying we don't need, I mean.
Yeah, Poke's doing fine. We're good. He'll cut you out of the
Ultron
problem.
unless it gets banned right now. I think Team One might ban the Ultron here if they really value it, if they think it's the meta. Or the Iron Man, you could ban one of the team ups. Instead, they might just let it through. They're banning the Cloak.
Okay.
Okay, I mean, this was a key part of the success. I actually think the Cloak ban is pretty smart if you want to run Ultron Iron Man, because Cloak has that instant survivability that always is going to dodge the Iron Man ult.
Ooh, I like these call-outs. Lots of fun. Also, you saw the Cloak Ultron dual strategist finished earlier from Team One. That was game number 2 as they held the Spider Islands. Will it be 3 strategists? 2? What's happening? We go to the path. Achilles, Jake on the mic. This is the U final.
It's probably going to be, I think, 3. I think that they
Ultron strikes me as a triple strategist vibe, and Iron Man is a pretty monster duelist in terms of like solo carrying on damage, especially when you got some of these team ups. You got more strategists enabling you, giving you more resources. I do think Iron Man is pretty crazy. We'll see though what this strat ends up being. Team One, we're just rolling out with like exactly what they played on the last map, and it's Berber Patapim who are on a pretty different look for now.
Are going to be attacking first, so we can go ahead and make some swaps. We'll see what they do end up on, though.
I don't hate a penny rocket here. Is that crazy? Maybe it's too crazy.
I wouldn't mind it. I mean, it was looking really strong in our opening series, so wouldn't mind it at all. But looks like it's going to be a bit more of.
Ultron looks pretty scary for Human Torch. How do you duel this guy in the sky? He is crushing you at long range.
Yeah, it's something to be concerned about as Rajaro coming in around the flank, dropping down, looking to try to harass here, disrupt this back line. Ends at the same time, tagged out to about half HP, but ultimately will be okay. Cart still steadily gliding forward. It's okay. It's going to be Polly who finds one. Fate going to be taken down. As, yeah, they look for a little bit more. Trust me, able to trade one back as Ken will fall. As it's going to get full-blown back and forth here, but it's going to be Poke coming up with 2 kills. Looking to go ahead and maintain the advantage here for the side of Berber Patapim, and that is going to be the push now, guaranteed to at least make it into the courtyard.
It's a scary comp to play against, right? Because Tanuki's heal is just fire and forget, right? Put this drone on Cap, and he's like more or less immortal in your back line. And then he's often synergizing with Pokey. They're hitting targets together, and this is pretty scary. Like, how do you deal with this on Cloak? Oh, Bait's just gone again.
Oh my God.
2 fights in a row, obliterated, and they might go for more here.
Just a jump scare around the corner. I mean, and Ken's able to find Milio at the same time. Now just diving in, looking for more, and there's just no escape. This combo of Polly Pokey, that is just nastiness. And what goes from like, okay, you know, they make it to the courtyard, but there's going to be a refight here from Team One. Maybe they could buy another minute off the. Nope, no, not at all. Cap is in. It's 5 minutes as they go on to the second stretch.
You're going to need some kind of an adjustment here from Team One. I mean, maybe Fate is just getting picked off. They need to play tighter between Crook and Fate because those flankers are going to come for you every fight, right? Polly and Pokey won't be stopped. These are incredibly mobile characters. They're going to be bringing down damage into the backline. You just have to be ready for that, ready to respond. Naga is going to go over to the Star-Lord, try and send some aggression back the other way. But who's going to deal with this Ultron? He's really getting great value here, getting a lot of his own damage in, and that heal is pretty impactful here, especially in the fight.
See Naga trying to get some line of sight there, trying to take Tanuki out of the sky. Emilio does manage to find a very critical kill, though. Okay, the butterfly opened up, looking for a bit more, and will be rewarded for it. So 3 kills going to be found there by Emilio. Naga gets 1 onto Enzo. And some footing going to be found here. Just the 1 ultimate having to be committed as well. Overall, a good sign here for Team One.
Now Melio setting up on the flank again, wants to keep the tempo in his team. I think this comp is very much about being aggressive. Here's Trust Me opening up immediately with the Emma Frost ultimate. But Ken does find the opportunity to get the Mana to sold out. It's going to sustain through everything, and Melio in a little bit of trouble, getting cleared out of that flank. So incredibly low, so far so good though, staying alive, and the Legendary over the top is going to make this very awkward for the walk-up. Invisible Boundary comes down, but trust me, he's already found the kill onto Ken. Nice pull in from Invisible Woman though.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, as soon as that expires, the kill does come in, but yep, pull through comes in. Enzo able to isolate Naga, kill found. Card now being capped is a little bit of a threat in there, trying to draw the attention away. Sedation onto Rajaro, will be held at bay on the flank once again, getting noted. Jumps up and over the top, and Wiley, this is still perfect Patapim trying to get themselves out towards safety, not wanting to play forward with the ults in play. And Pokey gets caught up in the crossfire there, trying to go for the exit. Which for Familio, hunting for a bit more, trying to get that next ult cycled in. For now, Pervert Patapim, 2 minutes drained off the clock since the cap had come in. Are not advancing.
Yeah, and the Cloak and Dagger paying dividends, right? So Team 1 getting that ban over the line here gives them maybe a bit of an edge here. Now they're walking up with Tanuki's ultimate, trying to get it forward here. Team 1, they don't have any ultimates to respond with. Ultron trying to do as much damage as he can, taking a lot of counter pressure, but the heals are good onto Ultron. They're keeping him alive. And Team 1 tried desperately to get that counter kill, but just couldn't quite make it happen.
It just looks so silly when you've got all of the clones basically just hovering around you, all flying in. But yeah, that's going to be the break point here. Patapim able to go ahead and resume the push. Team 1, again, still an opportunity to go ahead and get a foothold in front of this cap, especially given that Emilio is about to have another ult at the ready. Pokey for now, living up to the name, just poking and prodding here on this little access point. Tucks back around, rejoins in with the rest of the team. Cart going to be halted here for now. Ken's ult going through, just trying to keep everybody sustained. Trust me, tagged up dangerously low. Fate similarly falling here, but this is not picked off, so kills not found quite just yet, and that's something that Pervert Patapim desperately need. Enzo goes in here with the ultimate. As Invisible Woman ults out on both sides, just full obfuscation, full blindness here. As everyone gets disguised. Pokey, the ult to the ready. Emilio finding not much of anything there at all. Tries to poke in off the back there, going for the flank. As things start getting a little bit chaotic. Polly able to find one. Rajaro responding in time. Ken going to be taken down. DPS for support here. As the heals get broken down a little bit more for Pervert Patapim, and Enzo gets sunned up and taken down. Trust me, able to find the kill. An opportunity now to go ahead and extend the hold as Naga goes in with the Legendary. Look at this, go ahead and shove them back, and Wiley Pervert Patapim has to go ahead and get into a disconnected position. They have to try to backpedal here, but Polly's still going to be taken down.
Yeah, they get chased down. Every ult came out there from Team 1 in that fight. And trust me, he's already close to another Psionic Seduction. And oh, a bit of an uncharacteristic mistake out of Pokey, overextended there, and Team 1 are wasting no time punishing, sending the attackers all the way back to the door. They've got to just stay alive in the spawn. Tanuki, though, in the chaos, picks off Naga, and so maybe now the momentum gonna swing the other way. Team 1 on the fallback. They have a lot of space to give up here, so they're not too worried about this. And you see Rajaro playing with a lot of confidence, just holding what ground he can.
That's what I was going to say. Naga dying doesn't mean too much of anything because they have so much space. I mean, maybe a back cap threaten would be something to try to draw them back away. Polly into the back line, however, is fine. Multiple kills, just slicing and dicing through as you get rewarded with 3. And now it's only Naga who is alive. So Cart once again has to advance forward. Still a chance to get the retouch here for Team 1, but for Patapim, they say, okay, well, we need to fight forward. We need to play beyond point B. They go pushing up. Gonna try to
Strange portal getting them in though.
This off, but like you said,
oh, he's pushed back into the spawn. He got pushed back into the spawn by the Invisible Woman. He couldn't use the portal. I don't think I've seen that before. That's a sick counterplay.
Oh my God,
Enzo from Invisible Woman. Wow, really
Alex
played by Alex, and that's just gonna be a free cap. This fight, kind of a garbage fight for Team 1. They'd love to get a kill or two here, but they're not gonna be able to stop the cart.
Yeah, just the one peeled kill there on the Ken, but wow, what a play from Alex, as you said. I glance up, I see just blonde woman in the highlights. I'm like, yeah, it's Enzo. Enzo's playing the Invisible Woman. No, that's Emma Frost. My bad. Either way, a second lease on life for Pervert Patapim. So, a minute remaining. I think given the holds that we've seen, Team 1 should still be favored to deny the full push, but this is still good progression here on Yggdrasil Path.
Psionic Seduction could be powerful here. Team 1 trying to preempt that, going in with the Legendary and the Cloak and Dagger ultimate. And Pervert Patapim looks content to take the wipe. Yeah, they're not going to try and recommit ults into this. I actually like this decision. I think they really just want to play for the biggest possible advantage in the final fight. Cap slips out to the spawn and takes the reset. And so it's going to be just a few ultimates here available for Team 1. Crook with the Invisible Boundary, Melio with that Butterfly Dance, and Team 1 thinking about maybe getting a very aggressive push off here. They do have the Capel to help get them into the fight.
Okay, Alex sending out the barrier here. Brook holding the match, or not winning the match, rather, as Millie is going to be taken down. Kills going to be found here. Similar scene for the side of Team 1, saying, okay, we lose this fight. Don't commit anything else. Just go ahead and let the wipe come through. Rajaro will get taken down here, buys a little bit of added time, as we will enter into OT. 4 ultimates to play with for the side of Berber Patapim. 3 on the side of Team 1 as they look to hold the line, deny the cap coming through.
Very clean response from Berber Patapim there. Just the invisible boundary, 1 for 1, that puts them in a fantastic position to make a lot more card progress. Donic Seduction now coming out from both sides, but not too much of a connection. The Ultron out now, kind of dumping a little bit of damage. Crook has to be careful, has to use that invisible boundary to great effect in this fight. Capel stabilizing for now for Berber Patapim. Push forward with the invisible boundary. Melio, trust me, finding kills.
He's into the back line. Tanuki going to be taken down, and that's going to be 2 of the supports out dealt with, as Ken also does get picked. Pokey needing to deliver results, but is unable to do so. There's just too much sustain still available to the side of Team 1. He ends up falling. Enzo's going to be taken down, as this should be the cleanup and the hold coming through. The OT bleeds away. So a successful hold on the final stretch, but Team 1 still going to be kicking themselves, still likely feeling like this should have been a hold in front of B.
Yeah, that pushback on the invisible, or on the Doctor Strange portal, was so sick. I truly think that's the first time I've seen that exact way for the play to go. And that, I mean, that's huge, right? Because that denies one of those chaotic Strange portal fights, which we always know are like, they always seem scary, but sometimes with the strategy ultimates, you can just somehow clutch a hold out of nothing there. And so getting that deep into 3rd, I think, is a pretty solid progress, especially for, this is Team 1's map pick, right? So you'd think they'd be favored. You'd think they'd be in a very comfortable spot here, knowing how to take these fights. Berber Patapim have just been, throwing blows back the entire way, though.
All right, well, now over onto the attack for themselves. Don't expect to be seeing any adjustments overall here. I think it's likely going to be exactly the same comps for both teams, and at least for the case of Berber Patapim, we can see that that is true.
I'll have to see if Tanuki ends up sticking with the Ultron on the defense. I'm not a huge believer, I think, in this strategist lineup, the Mantis, Ultron, and Invisible Woman. I'm not the #1 fan of this, I will say. It looks a little sketchy. Ultron does do pretty good damage, but the Mantis has always felt, for me, out of place outside of the mass res comp. I feel like when you have that res, you can really push the limit, but not as much of a believer outside of that setup.
Let him know, Jake.
Once again, on the Human Torch, this is a scary spot to play Human Torch, I think. This is kind of a scary, even up in the sky, like, I feel like Ultron has a major advantage dueling other flying heroes because of that hit scan weapon.
I'm still looking to just layer in where possible here is Naga.
Oh, getting close, though.
Right in on top of here. Yeah, I mean, if you can gap close and really hit the shots, then you have an opportunity, but couldn't quite get too much through. They do note Pokey on that flank. Bit of damage in, and there's the splash. Naga is able to find it. Pokey going to be taken down. Big opener now for Team 1 on the push.
Yeah, great turnaround and peel there by Naga. Very aware. And now zoning off some of the strategists, helping that cap into the back line.
So,
and you got to just full kite for Berber Patapim, but somebody's going to get punished, and it ends up being Tanuki. Now they're continuing on the pressure here. Iron Man goes a little bit too deep, though. Rojaro went past the corner, gets turned around by Ken, who finds 2. This is turning into a bloodbath, which tends to favor the defenders.
At the moment, they're going to be zoned away. They don't have the front line. Trust me, look at it, just push forward, take some space here, can play pretty fearlessly, given the backing that he has, given that he's got full energy. Pokey at the same time, able to find 1. Milio going to be picked off. Heart capped, held at bay here for the moment. Can they find the stability, though? Because it's still damn close. With Crook going down, it seems like Berber Patapim should be able to get a bit of a foothold here, but how long they can hold it for is going to be the next question.
Yeah, and it does force Ken to ulti to get that one cleaned up, but they're finding a couple extra kills here, which is going to further drain that clock down for Team 1. So they were really aggressive, turning that corner on Rojaro. I think the strategists weren't quite ready to double down into that play. And a couple swaps are going to come in. Naga over to the Wolverine. Okay, interesting choice here. Maybe looking to punish that strange swap out of Tanuki. It's going to be a little bit low on resources. The extra tank can be pretty vulnerable to Wolverine.
Gotta be careful, though, if you go for the kidnap, drag him into the back line, and that Eye of Agamotto is at the ready and can't blow up fast enough. Could just end up getting your entire team stunned. Fate sends out the ultimate, though. And it's going to be Alex in response, setting up the barrier. You hear the call. Lead the charge for Jaro. Still their own ultimate at the ready. There's the kidnap looking for Ken. Dances around it, though, still. However, it will get re-kidnapped. Once again, Naga will find that kill. Crook going to be trained at the same time, so it's just going to be strategist for strategist here as Pokey finds Emilio once more. Barrier Finally just locking them back here. And for now, it seems like control of this card going to be maintained. Poke's so damn low, but Tanuki, or Naga rather, can come away with the kill. I see Wolverine, I see Tanuki in the game, and I'm just like, yeah, it's Tanuki.
Yeah, I mean, really impressive hold there. I think the fact that Poke wins that 1v1 ends up being really important for the engagement as a whole. And Ken is over to the Jeff here, so kind of a wonky choice here. But we'll see if it could work. I mean, could be problematic if he's able to get that ultimate up for the overtime, can maybe grab some of those players. I mean, there are some edges of the map pretty close to the fight here, so I feel like this Jeff ult could actually be surprisingly decisive.
Can't be worse than a Mantis.
True. Puckett, the #1 Mantis hater, is a fan of any kind of picks other than Mantis. Butterfly dance into the back line, but who's this targeting down? Looks like NZO, but he's getting a lot of heal to sustain, but Tanuki can't quite get the same treatment. Fake goes down in the chaos, though, and Jeff finds another kill. Hold on, Ken, making this happen.
Yeah, Ken coming away with a pick there on the Naga, takes them down. I mean, this is still going to be control maintained, and I mean, from what was looking like a pretty decent start, this is completely crumbled under their feet. Berber Patapim here on this defense are absolutely immovable. 25 seconds now remaining. A last-ditch effort here for Team 1. And reminder, they need to make it all the way to the final stretch here, Jake. They don't, I mean, they need to get this cap. They only get 2.5 minutes. And given the way the Berber Patapim is playing, given that they have 4 ultimates here versus just the 2, it's looking like this is going to be a nigh impossible task.
Sonic Seduction creating problems. Here's Ken with the ulti. Would love to be able to pull somebody away, and he grabs the cloak and dagger. What's he gonna go with her? Just maybe taking her away from the ultimate where she could be vulnerable?
I think about to just take her as far as you possibly can. Get her disconnected from the rest of the fight.
Butterfly dance from Pokey, getting one. Maybe he's done enough. The Wolverine ult, though, trying to strike back, trying to bring this one back into connection. Tanuki is low, just got the ultimate, but couldn't quite cast it in time. And now Team 1 starting to crumble. Players so incredibly low. The strategists grouping up, fighting together. Berber Patapim about to lock up map 2. Go up 2-0 here in our money match series towards their potential first championship in Marvel Rivals Fight Night. Wolverine with the second life, stalling for everything he's worth, and the invisible boundary comes out too, so Team 1 having a new lease on life, another chance. Tanuki also coming back with that strange portal. Everybody's into this engagement.
They managed to get them here. A bit of a kidnap here. Looking for the pick onto Pokey. Trying to go ahead and execute this. Strange for their able to do it. And in all of this chaos, the rest of the team is falling to the wayside. 4 quick kills. Now 5. Rajal being at the 6th and final. That will be the holes coming to fruition for Berber Patapim. A solid attempt at the last-ditch effort there to try to get that clutch up in OT, but Team 1 just cannot make it happen. Berber Patapim is just looking way too clean.
Man, they are so scrappy, and they bring out these crazy clutch picks. They bring out the Jeff, they bring out the Strange, and I feel like they really know how to make the most of a difficult situation when they force that. I love that Alex wins MVP. There's 0 chance the system understands that he pushed the Strange back into the spawn and denied the portal, but that was one of the coolest plays I've seen, so a very well-deserved MVP. On top of that 10k damage, the Invisible Woman, nothing to shake a stick at.
That is a lot of work being put in there by Alex. Can we give a shout out, though, to Berber Patapim? They go for the hero swaps. Everything they seem to bring out works. It all started, though, and Chad pointed out, there was a moment where Ken on Mantis gets double headshots. He takes out the Flyer and Naga and then puts the team right back into business. It was the strategist getting the job done in that game number 2. And now, as you said, we are 1 map away from taking this series. Achilleos, we have to give our early MVP honors so production can start preparing like highlight reels. Can you choose just one?
It's probably Pokey. I mean, I'd like not to always just be like, yeah, duelist player, whatever, flashy plays, but Pokey has been exciting. Pretty instrumental in this, but I think there are a lot of ways that you could cut this. Everybody right now is just performing so damn well, but I would probably lean towards the Psylocke.
He's got the most final hits so far in this series. Jake, who are you liking in this series? It can be from either side.
I'm still stuck on this Alex Invisible Woman play. Like, denying the Strange portal is so sick. Like, it's one tiny little play. You don't get a final blow for that. You basically did no damage, but you more or less in one button press instantly won a team fight. It was a team fight the defenders didn't even get to take. It's one of those things, it's like, it seems small, but it's actually one of the biggest plays you can ever make. Like one of those big brain strats where, okay, I push the Strange back to the spawn, it cancels the portal. Like, that is so sick for me. Like that for me is going to change the whole game. I think a lot of teams are going to see that play and be like, oh crap, we need to like send Invisible One forward and contest the Strange when he's trying to portal out of the spawn when the spawn is close enough for that to be practical. I was just really impressed by that, the awareness, the understanding, the depth of the game.
When that comes up, make sure to call it out. I have a feeling our observers grabbed it, as they always catch the best moments. Here's a look at the Ultron Ultimate. Basically, it's just a barrage of missiles that come down and destroy everything in your way. The railgun beam just does the rest of the work.
Strange
Here's the Invisible
portaling.
One.
And so if we see this on the Strange PP, like he can only cast the portal outside of his own spawn, so they're trying to protect him, but then back inside, he's not allowed to cast it in here. So it actually just cancels it out. So sick, actually.
It's disgusting.
And then, of course, as you mentioned, Pokey doing Pokey things. I don't feel like he missed a shot there in the final 2
He won a
minutes.
lot of 1v1s when the team was down 1, right? Ken also had that play on the Mantis, clutching up, finding kills. And that's been like the call sign for me from Berber Patapim. The reason I really expect to see them really continue to rise in the Marvel Rivals European scene is when they're down 1, they might fall back around the next corner, but they're not giving up the fight. Like if Rajaro comes and swings that corner because he's, oh, we're up 1, we can maybe keep pushing. He gets absolutely smoked around the corner. Like they are ready for the peak and they are ready to fight. And so this is a Berber Patapim team that even when they're, on the back foot strategically or in a number scenario, they are ready to fight. They are ready to shoot back at you. And they're not only playing with the intelligence to fall back, but they're also have the mechanics to back up that positioning. And I really think that the series has been the proof and all you really need to see that this is a very competitive team in Marvel Rivals.
There's an EU challenger coming in to Ignite.
Exactly,
Let's just put Virtus Pro on notice. Finzy's aware. He's in the chat. Shout out to the GOAT, one of the highest gifters officially here on our twitch.tv/Rivals Fight Night channel. Achilleos, this has been a fun evening. There is a little bit of lore that you may have missed out on. Tanuki, who is in this matchup, was the originator of using the DPS Jeff. He was a duelist. He switches over to Jeff, basically played purely for the Jeff Ultimate, and every single time he spit enemies off the map. His teammate Ken failed to spit even a single person off the map. I feel like you need to have a little bit more teamwork, a little bit more practice, maybe some character one-on-ones. Have you seen this in other titles? Does anyone do this?
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's plenty of other titles that have all that one.
Just watch a TikTok. Don't even spend time. Just watch TikTok. Use the bubbles. Go there faster. Get them off.
I would like to see like an actual, real, full commitment onto the Jeff. The only time that I've gotten past it, where it was like out the gate, we're playing Jeff. They ended up C9ing the point because they devoured their own Magneto that was contesting, and they C9 the point.
Yeah, Jeff is an agent of chaos. I will say that about Jeff. It's not going to be a normal, stable game of Marvel Rivals when somebody picks Jeff, all right? It's going to be chaos.
He's a shark with feet. It doesn't make sense, but that's why you're watching it. This is Rivals Fight Night. Producer, do you need a break? Am I supposed to throw to one, or are teams willing to play? Because unlike North America, EU knows how to game. They sit down, they load up lobbies. Everyone's in at the same time. They get into the matches. It's fantastic, Jake. North America, they've been working on it. They're getting a little bit better. But there was a moment where we had to find them for delays.
We got to crack the whip a little bit on these NA players. They're getting lazy. EU, they're hungry. They're grinding. They're trying to unseat these top dogs. And I think a lot of this is kind of coming around the Ignite tourney coming up, right? I think people are really starting to say, okay, there's a very serious prize pool. We got to lock in and get as good as we possibly can be. And that kind of comes out in all aspects of your game, whether it's your scheduling, your coordination as a team, how much you're practicing. All these are going to play into a factor of how well you can perform in a tournament. And this match is really showing the levels to this game. I mean, let's be honest, Blood Corrido, they kind of got absolutely worked over by Team 1. It was not that close. Map 2 was close. The other 2 maps, they were not close.
Not so close.
And Berber Patapim is another level above. So to me, this really stratifies the game. It shows that how competitive you can be. I think most people would have seen that first series and been like, oh, Team 1, they're so sick. They play so well. How do you ever beat this? And now Berber Patapim is turning the tables on you. It's going to be Araco, I guess, for the map pick for Team 1. So this can be a change up. I feel like I've seen this map, but I can't visualize it from the name.
Araco. Yeah, okay, so if you're a Squirrel Girl lover, you're going to love this map.
Yes,
I've only played it twice. I have switched over to Squirrel Girl instantly. You can teleport behind them. You can jump around like a maniac. It is a lot of fun. If we get there, and there's a Squirrel Girl on Rivals Fight Night, by the way, and she's on screen for more than 3 minutes, it will be a Rivals Fight Night record. Berber Patapim, trying to seal the deal, trying to cash this 4-digit check. Yeah, $1,000 is your Fight Night prize for Europe. So far, 12,000 in the bank of Virtus Pro. They're about to watch a new champion. Will it be Team1, formerly Luminosity, with the reverse sweep? Where's the Patapim getting it done? Achilles, I have a feeling we're going to see maybe Magneto, then Emma Frost protected, then a Luna ban on each side, and then Emma Frost protected, then a Loki. What do you got after that?
Probably an Adam Warlock if you're Patapim. You know,
I think they got to ban. They got to respect ban Pokey right now. This is the change up. They got to respect ban the Psylocke out of Pokey. He's doing too much. I think the team is too good at playing around him. I'm not convinced Team1 will do that because they might want to just take the duel, but I don't think this, like, they're not even, like, Loki's not even that good, right? Like, they're not even really playing Loki, so I don't really see why he's getting the ban pile. Maybe there's something I'm not seeing in terms of, like, a comp that they're scared of, something, maybe they just feel like the regeneration domain is too important against something like Wolverine or whatever, where the ult is, like, almost a guaranteed kill if you don't have regeneration domain.
Without the Luna, I think Loki becomes your second best friend. So get him off the map. So
I like the Mantis ban from Berber Patapim here because you protect Adam Warlock. You're kind of showing your hand. You maybe want to go for the Star-Lord team up. Right. And I think that would make sense for Team1, right? It was a very good look for them in the last series. Okay, we were down 2-0. Let's go to the mass res comp. So at least taking out Mantis, it's like, you can play Adam Star-Lord, but it does kind of hurt when you don't have Mantis in the mix there. You're really missing out. And they're going to get their own Emma Frost and Psylocke setup here. So they're pretty comfortable, I think, are for Patapim. Maybe another Cloak and Dagger ban could be coming out here.
Chat, let's take this a different direction. Okay, Cap is not going to be punching you in the face if you're Berber Patapim. We'll see what Team1 is bringing to the table as their tank. You know Emma Frost is there. What do you pair it with? Probably more Doctor Strange. Quick question to the chat, though. Would this Berber Patapim team with Ultron beat Virtus Pro if they were here tonight?
I think there's at least one chatter that will say no. Finzi probably going to be looking to shut down any allegations there, but...
Follow-up question.
They went to game 5, bro.
That's a disrespectful combo of mains. If you're having to pick from one Vanguard, one Duelist, one Strategist, what is the most ultimate scumbag composition? So far, I see Squirrel Girl, Jeff. What's the Vanguard that goes with it?
Penny Parker. Easy.
Penny Parker.
Question. Next question, bro. Next question. Penny Parker, Squirrel Girl, Rocket. That goes crazy for me.
Well, I was going to say maybe Hulk, but speaking of which, Enzo currently hovering it here.
Little Hulk action? Okay, I mean, they do have to think about what their second Vanguard is going to be because they did have that cap banned out. Hulk could be interesting in this spot, and they're going to go with Tanuki on the Wolverine as well. I don't think they're really going to use the fastball special. It's pretty much a meme. Hold on, Hella, though, in big trouble here. Yeah, just going to get assassinated.
Okay.
So that's why you bring the Hulk. He freezes people, and then Pokey gets his stats padded.
Tanuki's just sending it in the front line, still has that second life. Rather, so he doesn't. What was I saying? He has the fastball special. He's ready to rock with the fastball special, the most important cooldown in the game for Wolverine. But yeah, it's just going to be an easy first fight win. Start that big Groot-looking boy walking. Look at him. Look at that. That is aura right there. That is, the cart has aura. This is the most, like, compared to, like, Venom's, like, weird little head or whatever, this is so much swaggier.
I mean, this is pretty much just the donk walk emote.
Actually. I love that he's just aura farming now.
He's actually just donk walking it down. Like, that's all he's doing. Either way, all right. About a minute gone. Solid progress going to be found here for Berber Patapim. Thus far, let's see Team1. Try to slow this up. Naga, oh boy, just pinned down onto the low ground, sliver of HP remaining, and just nowhere to go but back to the respawn room. So, does end up getting taken down. Pajaro doing his damnedest. And the only Captain America here in the lobby after the ban, but is now just going to be kidnapped, pinned to the wall, and taken down. This is not a good time.
And the comp for Team1 kind of falling apart. Berber Patapim brawling so insanely well at the close range. They are just incredibly deadly, and this map is full of corners. Kind of doubting Milio's pick here. He's struggling to get that much value, and every time you come around a corner, you're getting Wolverine kidnapped, you're getting frozen by Enzo on the Hulk. Team1 opening this portal, trying to delay for a moment. Tanuki was trying to grab a kidnap in there, and you come out alone. Yeah, you're into this Wolverine here, out of the frying pan, into the fire, and a butterfly dance could be available if you even need it for Pokey.
I mean, Crook is just dead on arrival. No opportunity to try to address the ultimate there. Similar scenes for Naga, and it's so much control here from the side of River Patapim, but the trades start coming through. Ken Allen's both going to be taken down, Polly. Still alive. Nope, dead. Okay, trust me, does manage to find the kill. So it seems like finally a bit of a foothold going to be found here for the side of Team 1.
Monster Hulk used.
Starting to roll back a bit. But yeah, just get the
kind of
pop out of it,
weird pop of the ultimate. I guess he's gonna live and like feed a bunch of strategist ult back to his teammates, but seems like a pretty low value use of the ultimate. So Team 1, nice clutch from them, and holding on to a couple ultimates. So maybe I spoke too soon. Stabilizing with a bit more range here at the end of the checkpoint.
Let's see how long we can hold this for. Tanuki jumping forward. Kidnap not to be found there. It was Pokey opening things up here. Goes in. It's a butterfly onto the high ground, but some elimination's not going to be found. Enzo going to be popped out and goes banner form. And swiftly will be dealt with by Milio. There's Pokey taking a peek, taking a bit of damage. Needs to make a swift little exit here. Dashes back, joins in with the rest of the squad. Back in a Selton. For now, though, it's going to be decent time buying coming through. A minute remaining here for the side of Berber Patapim on this attack.
Yeah, and Melio's starting to really get tucked in this comp. But here he comes, the harassment squad just teleported behind him. Watch out, brother. Was not ready for that one. And now without your backline DPS, who's going to carry? Rajaro coming with the Eye of Agamotto, getting a couple stuns in, but the invisible boundary, keeping people up for the moment. Stabilizing under it, Cloak and Dagger ult as well.
Yeah, nothing found off the back of that. Naga can't get anything done there. Emilio able to find the headshot, does shut down Pokey, a little bit less concerned, but there's still just too many casualties, it would feel like, here on the side of Team 1. Cleanup will come through. The cap is found, so just under 3 minutes remaining here for Berber Patapim as they go on the second stretch. But it's decent time buying still. I think a good showing for Team 1 thus far, but they need to get dug in.
Dude, the artists and the animators have cooked, man. When you cap, you like, nature is healing this you know, sterile factory. I am emotionally invested in the outcome of this payload map.
Well, once again, on the hunt.
Nice grab from Miserable Woman, though. Yes, it saves the kidnapping target. But Wolverine is just pumping damage.
Has to be rerouted right back here over into towards the front, playing on the corner. Gets the kidnap, though. That's not forward looking to assassinate Naga, but he's managed to make it his way out. All healing found there is Milio low on HP, but still putting up the numbers. Finds Pokey.
Just get a 4-man Tanuki. Pop that all.
Going to go dashing forward. Ult is invested, looking to keep everybody alive. As once again, mind a little kidnap here, but no real way to confirm these eliminations.
Yeah, and the Cloak and Dagger just desperately trying to get back into her ultimate, into the team. Here's the ultimate now from Wolverine, pumping damage. No one's able to deal with Melio, though. A little bit of a lack of range damage, but he's just not able to get through the healing here from Cloak and Dagger. That ultimate just a little bit too powerful and instant pick off. Fate is going to head over to the Jeff. Okay, pretty interesting. Rajaro onto the cap. So Team 1 wanted to maybe match some of this fast tempo. Okay, no, back to the Cloak and Dagger, just using Jeff to get people out of spawn a little bit quicker. My mistake. Ultimate advantage for Team 1, though, in a great spot to maybe make a solid hold here at the end of second.
Well, it's going to be Pokey who's looking to try to just go ahead and get ahead of the curve here. Since the ultimate gets into the back line, but nothing really going to be found. Cap narrowly close to coming through as Pokey just managed to find Milio. Gets into that back line once again, just catching him off guard. Naga now going to be taken down. The duelist is dead here on the side of Team 1. The rest of the team going to be looking to try to buy some time here for them to rejoin as Rajaro sends out the ultimate. Pokey the self Tanuki going to be felled. Oh, the kill going to be found for the back cap here. Yeah, not going to go for it here. I do agree. I think it would have been cheeky. It's not something that we see all the time. Now, that cart, if you want to call it that, certainly is being watched as everybody from Team 1 has it surrounded. 38 seconds remaining in the time break here for Berber Patapim. Can they clutch up and get the cap once again? I'll have to just wait and see, but for now, low HP bars here as Enzo will get dealt with. Tanuki, though, does trade it out, though, so Vanguard for Vanguard still, trust me, available here for Team 1. There's Polly slow swap, looking to try to go ahead and get that Eye of Agamotto up and ready to go.
Yeah, and the kills are still coming in despite the Cloak and Dagger roll on the ground. Visible boundary looks just a little bit stronger. Polly with the Eye of Agamotto helps get that cleanup with Alex. And it seems like Berber Patapim, once again, near the overtime, are going to be able to get this cart across the line, heal this factory, heal this broken land, Mr. Tree Man.
Well, they had the portal set up. They're able to die back out. But it's going to be Crook taken down as Pokey's got another ultimate, and he's just absolutely cooking them. 4 kills found. Can he get the ace? No, it will be Enzo and Tanuki finding the final 2 kills, but there you go. Cap found the grass spreads. Jake is a happy boy.
Wait, look at it's a tree. It grows.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a tree. Are you kidding me? This is the sickest map I have ever seen.
I
Team
don't know
1,
what's
how
more,
dare you?
that tree
try to
or
stop
Jake
the
right
tree,
now.
man. The forces of darkness are trying to defend this factory, and it's the good people of the trees, including the Monster Hulk from Berber Patapim, who are trying to save these broken people. The Monster Hulk is absolutely swarming into the back line.
Jake, you and I go see the next Avatar together. I feel like you'd be the ideal movie partner for that.
We need to get Jake together with the double rainbow guy. You pogging out
died,
that tree. Did he?
We'll have to
I
see.
can't tell if that's Cap or not.
It's Rip.
Oh, well, that's
Sorry.
unfortunate. I had no idea.
But hey, great content. He's a YouTuber. You can go check it out. Feed his family.
I'm sorry. That just flashbanged to me. I had no idea that was going to be a thing that you said.
I'm sorry you had to find out this way, bro.
Yeah, what the hell, man?
Sorry,
All right. That's my day
You
ruined.
should have put it to the
Either
DMs.
way.
You know, I just wrecked the whole show. Back to you.
Well, I think Tanuki just kidnapped Melio, so Wolverine on Wolverine action drags him right into Enzo's grasp, finds that kill. Naga going to be taken out as well as spiral a bit here for the side of Team 1. 5 seconds remaining here on the push. Berber Patapim, though, have they gone far enough? We'll have to wait and see for the next round. Trust me, able to kill one back as Ken's going to be taken out. Fake dead as well, though. Berber Patapim still sticking around here on this push. Kidnapped over to the side, just taking him away from the rest of the squad. Trust me, isolated, dead. This tree continues to advance.
Dude, Pokey just put that work in. Fate now coming out, desperation, Iron Fist, trying to make that Rikitas happen, trying to stall out as much as he can. But I mean, Berber Patapim are just fighting at full strength, and they are gonna heal this broken world. Brings a tear to my eye.
We had some fun facts from chat. Jake is a huge Captain Planet fan. Jake is the son of Captain Planet. Same chiseled jaw, same smile. Is there truth behind the lies, Jake?
I cannot comment. I am bound by NDA not to discuss any possibilities about my lineage.
Win.
Look at green hair.
The
Dude,
lion
I
is
swear,
here.
I just love this. It's actually so good. I actually also think the comp Berber Patapim is going for is pretty sick here because the map is full of all these like 90-degree cart turns, right? This is actually the first time I've seen the map, so it's like I'm analyzing it for the first time, but full of all these like hard 90-degree corners and a lot of these like close range engagements. And I feel like the fact that they're just going for a full brawl style, playing for Wolverine and Hulk to disrupt the backline and find pickoffs, it's creating a lot of opportunities for the individuals to shine. And I think trying to make the Hella work, I mean, like, Melio has 11 deaths. Like, a lot of that is from playing the Hella. You become such an obvious first target. Like, if you get caught and pulled away, the Crow is not going to get you enough into safety to actually allow you to turn around that fight. Now it's going to be Naga taking the Wolverine. Maybe Melio can go over to the Psylocke, but it seemed like an uncomfortable swap for them. I think typically it would have been Melio on the Psylocke normally when they're starting out this way. I think they're talking about it right now, which is not a good sign for the team, right? Like, you want to be a little bit quicker with your comp picks here, and they're talking about it down to the last second. Okay, Naga is going to take the Wolverine. It's what I expect. Rajaro on the cap. We'll see if that ends up outvaluing Hulk, but Enzo has made the Hulk look pretty strong.
Yeah, he has. I mean, it's a stark contrast compared to what we were seeing in the first series. As hello,
Oh my god.
it's just playing tic-tac-toe.
I mean, they basically
over here.
cannot kill each other, and Rajaro is going to
Yeah.
dodge straight to the back line. They're actually wise not to fight each other.
I mean, it's like watching a tank matchup in the top lane of League of Legends game. Like, it's a wet noodle fight. You're not going to do anything. I mean, you can hit each other, try to get some ult charge, I suppose, but no one's going to be dying on that front. Either way, though,
Naga
the
finds
kill is going to
Pokey.
be found here as Naga does find Pokey. Very crucial target for Jaro. Limit testing a bit around the corner. Still hovering at around half HP, but Ken's going to be taken down as Crook finds an elimination there. Portal going to be taken, and it's just chaos here.
Oh, Rajaro juking.
That's fine, Melio, though. Jaro trying to escape, but Tanuki is able to hound him down, and has he overstepped is going to be the question. Portal taken, Naga, one swipe, one kill, Polly dead, as it is just complete and utter chaos. But the thing that we're profiting from is that the cart has not been advancing forward across the last minute and 10 seconds.
Yeah, they're getting a little bit of progress now, but Wolverines are so set up to succeed in this comp. They're going to be the most important characters. Ken, though, finds Trust Me. An uncharacteristic mistake out of Trust Me, getting punished that early, trying to go for the environmental kill, but a little bit too far away. Now the Wolverines just slashing each other in the face, trading it out, looking for that ultimates. They're close to available. Team 1 trying to bring some ultimates to bear. Now this time Fate gets caught off. The stun onto the Wolverine, now sets up the grab. And that second life easily dealt with there. Naga gets cleaned up. Nice setup by Enzo.
Yeah, just no real way to, no place really realistically to go there. So saw a little isolation from Tanuki. So the tree is going to be moonwalking for now.
Oh my God, it's even cooler. It's even cooler when he walks backwards.
Oh, the observers know what Jake wants to see.
Bro, tell me this is not the sickest thing you've ever seen in the video game. It's hilarious. The payload is like a swaggy tree.
Well, Rajaro trying to beat the ever-loving hell out of somebody here, but it's going to be Crook who's actually able to find a kill. Ken's going to be taken down. Trade there between the Invisible Women, as Emilio is able to find one as well. So solid refight here from Team 1. Just the one casualty at the moment here is Pokey. Just get into the back line, gets that assassination, but it will be hounded down. Enzo likely to get popped back into banner form. No, okay, never mind. He's escaped. He's gotten out. Do they have a chance to refight is the question. Ken says yes. Portal about to be set up here. Patapim want to try to go for the full hold. A minute 20 remaining here for Team 1.
And Polly goes over to the Invisible Woman in order to make the comp still work. They're showing ridiculous flexibility right now. Here's the ultis coming out. Tanuki trying to burst down a couple kills. Doesn't have that extra life. Needs to get healed, but Pokey, Ken, and Enzo are finding the kills in the chaos. Talk about flexibility, man. I don't think I've ever seen that before. To have your typical Vanguard player go over to the Invisible Woman. So another player can take the Strange because the Ken, I think, spawned earlier. And so he wanted to be able to set up the Strange portal early. That's so, the flexibility to do that on the fly. So impressive for me. Berber Patapim just leveling up into this series.
Are they truly Orgless, or does Berber Patapim have like a meme coin I don't know about?
No, bro, that's the number one. That's the number one sponsor is Berber Patapim.
Love it.
I mean, if they are in fact Orgless, then
we got to get these guys a team, man. They deserve it. They are putting on work here. Team 1 struggling under the weight of the expectations. Trying to get it across the line now. Putting a little bit of pressure into the back line, but turning around with the Coca Dagger is powerful. Into the Stratus ultimates. No one's going to die for the next 5 seconds is my prediction.
3, 4, 5.
Oh, it's so close.
And okay, yeah, well, we made it. Ken is able to find it, though, and now it's going to be Crook dead as well. Joining him in the grave is Enzo. Able to hound him down. Overtime starting to bleed away, and things are looking just better for Team 1 to try to persevere in the fight and get the cap, get that 2.5 minute bump up here. HP bars are just absolutely in tatters for the side of Berber Patapim here at the moment, but they're not dying. They're not getting picked. Agamotto goes in, gets the stun out. Milio going to be hit there, but has managed to stay alive. Contestant still there. 1.94 meters left to go. The overtime so very narrow, but the cap is there.
It's healing, Jake.
Okay. We get a little bit of healing. A tree will be constructed out of the ether. So do you get another tree?
I mean, that's a big ult dump, though, from Team 1. It's a pretty heavy reset on their ult status. And so Berber Patapim, only 2 minutes on the clock that they need to burn down. They're in a great position to retake control. Even though the cap did come in, got to remember it was a full cap for Berber Patapim. They're playing with house money, basically, in this round. And they're wasting no time here, diving into the backline with the Dance of the Butterfly. Everyone's healing up through it very nicely, though, so Pokey not really able to get too much value to that.
Not much gained. And so stun ult at the ready, though. Agamotto up and over the top, and yep, that's 2. He found there on Ken, but Fate gets traded. Polly now trading up as Naga similarly going to be taken down. And that's going to be a very good cleanup here for the side of Berber Patapim. Milio has managed to peel a kill away there, but ultimately card control, tree control, going to be back here in the hands of Berber Patapim.
I mean, Doctor Strange, the ultimate is powerful, but the problem is in this comp, man, you are just getting worked over by the amount of movement control that's available to both sides. Melio trying to get into the backline to get something done. Enzo with the Monster Hulk is tanking through everything and just crawling into the backline, forces that invisible boundary. Gonna try and get back to the team. Is forced into baby banner form, though, so it's gonna be a pretty big liability.
Yeah, backpedaling, I mean, it is going to be Vanguard here for him, but yeah, I mean, okay, just sends it, but going to be taken down here. And Berber Patapim, even with the baby banner, still able to go ahead and stay their way through the fight and maintain control of the tree. 52 seconds remaining. Yeah, this is a problem. Is that Team 1, the last like minute and a half, have not been able to get a full reset. It's just every single time they get clustered up, somebody dies.
Forcing staggers is so powerful in this game, right? It's like those kills, they feel easy to get, but of course, if you overextend as a team, you could end up throwing away your existing advantage. So it's always a risk you have to kind of calculate against. Now, Stratus ultimate online. This duel in the flank could be for all the marbles here. And a refight from Poke. Very aggressive on low HP, but Polly does get the trade. And Hulk is just making a lot of opportunity in the backline. Took the full focus of the team to get him away, peel him back. And it seems like he's dancing away pretty well right now, but under pressure finally from Wolverine. He's going to be knocked down into Baby Fanner. Tanuki has that second life on Wolverine. So close, the ultimate needs to get this online. Potentially could be the one to burst through some of these final ultimates.
Hasn't popped it yet, waiting out a little bit of the ults here as Fates does expire. Ken going to be taken down, so trust me, able to find that kill. Pokey going out here with the butterfly, just wreaking havoc, whittling away at these HP bars as the overtime starts to bleed. Naga dead, 3 players alive, and not for very long. Oh my God, he is just absolutely wrecking them. Melia will find one, but can do nothing more. Just the singular cap, no more trees. Deforestation here on the map, as it will be Berber Patapim maintaining control and taking down this set 3-0. They are this week's EU champions.
They go game 5 against Virtus Pro, now a 3-0 for their first $1,000 check. Congratulations to Berber Patapim. 3 Norwegians on this roster. Pretty awesome stuff to see the Europeans getting the job done this week with a clean win. Jake, what was most impressive from that last hour of play? Because I saw in the chat that Enzo is a controller player. He popped off with the Hulk. We've seen controller players dominate with the group. Is he going to be one of the next great controller players?
I mean, I think we've even seen controller players on, isn't the 100 Thieves Magneto player controller player? I mean, Marvel Rivals, it seems like genuinely viable, at least on maybe the Vanguard role is where we've seen it the most, where more of these characters, it's more about your positioning, your skill usage, rather than like perfect mechanical aim. Obviously, there's going to be your Psylocke, which is going to be all about just like landing headshots back to back to back, right? Perfect, 180 turns arounds and using your skills to maximum efficacy. But honestly, I think a lot more in this game depends on your understanding and your team play more than like your raw mechanics or what input method you use. And I think actually it's like it's not that obvious that they're using controllers. Like they still look pretty solid on them. And it's not because like aim assist is overtuned the way it is in some games. It's actually like these guys are just really solid and it doesn't matter so much what input medium they're using. It's kind of cool. I don't know if I've ever seen a game besides Rivals actually kind of hit the balance on that front where it doesn't feel like the input method is dictating how good you can be.
I'll be honest, I got 30 controllers back here. I haven't plugged one of them in years, Jake. I'm about to bust it back out.
Dude, put away the mouse and
keyboard. I'm about to switch over.
I would say the Hulk is probably one of the hardest Vanguards to play, so try this at home with a grain of salt, kids.
Maybe the Thing. I'll start with the Thing and just throw haymakers with the controller instead.
Do it, bro.
In the meantime, we got to give a shout out to the whole Berber Patapim squad. Tanuki, Pokey, Enzo, Polly, so many players popping off. Jake talking about what Ken and Alex were doing on the back line. Achilles, was it still Pokey at the end of the night that was your most exciting player to watch?
Yeah, I'd say that, they got a little bit of a run for their money in that last. Very, very clean overall from Berber Patapim. But I mean, everybody had their moments in the spotlight here for this team. I mean, Polly, Alex, like everybody across the board was just looking great. Enzo making Hulk look like he was, still busted Hulk. But I'd still give it to Pokey. I think across the 3 maps played, this was the biggest thorn in the sides of Team 1.
Let's take a look at some of the best highlights. And I was asking chat. So apparently Psylocke's been nerfed a bit. Down 2 seconds from 3 seconds with the invisibility. The right click is a little bit weaker. The team up down to 50% damage. So this is a weaker Psylocke this week than what you were seeing last week. I didn't see a difference when watching Pokey. The man connects and he did damage fast, Jake.
Yeah, just a monster performance from Pokey, winning a lot of these flank fights and really synergizing with the team as well. I think that's what made the difference because Melio, also a very strong Psylocke player, right? Like this would have been much more competitive if it were not for the immaculate team play that Berber Patapim are putting on. Like Pokey, he's rarely just hitting fully alone. He's coordinating with the teammates, hitting at the same time that his Cap or his Hulk is into the backline, and that's why it looks so incredibly consistent. On top of that, of course, he's a beast. He's dropping some crazy individual solo kills that I saw in this match, and I mean, these pickoffs, that's so painful to be getting caught in your own spawn like that.
Right, coming out with 50% health is no way to start your day. Pokey doing damage, getting the job done, and earning your MVP honors for the first win for Berber Patapim. It took him 14 weeks, but they're on the board just in time for the Ignite series kicking off a little bit later this month. Let's take a look at our numbers because Virtus Pro have been here 12 times. They've walked away champions 12 times. The other winners, it was Team1, formerly known as Luminosity EU, and of course your new champ, Berber Patapim. We had a game 5 last week. EU finally looking like it might be a 2-team fight instead of just one juggernaut on top of the hill, Achilles.
It is, and that's exactly what you want to see. I mean, you know, Virtus Pro, I'm sure that they will disagree with me, but as a viewer and as a caster, it's a lot more interesting when you have people who are able to challenge the top dogs, when you're going to be able to have some back and forth and not just see the same champion week over week. Obviously, at VP, so able to maintain that dominance given the meta
They had 3 months of fun. You know, we're in month 4 now.
Yeah, good on
summertime. Let's get weird.
Sometimes you want to see things get mixed up, and Berber Patapim, they are pretty much, I mean, I don't even say pretty much. They are just the second best team right now in EU with the best opportunity, the best chances, the best skill to be able to try to take down VP. So I'm hoping that we see VP back and we get that matchup to really settle the score.
Congratulations to Berber Patapim. They are your EU champions. Dark Zero and Envy playing in your NA Challengers match. We have 100 Thieves waiting as your champion for NA on the evening. Achilles, before you go, big shout out for joining us once again. Where are you going next? I know you're traveling the world, always casting.
I am flying to Toronto in less than 12 hours. So I'll be over there for Masters. So I woke up and doing this show. I'm going to take a quick
You're about to be awake for the next 48 hours, bro.
I'm going to pack that suitcase. Nope, I've upgraded to business. I'm sleeping on the flight. 13 and a half hours direct. Let's go, baby.
Achilles Cast on Twitter. He has a donate button. Get him a drink or two on his plane all the way to Canada from South Korea. Achilles, thank you for joining us. Jake, you are fantastic as always. What did you learn in the new meta tonight?
I just super fun seeing the Emma Frost Psylocke combo that looks incredibly potent. Feels like some of these like greedier long range poking styles have maybe fallen off with, you know, things like Wolverine, Cap, making comebacks, playing that high tempo style with the Emma Frost. Also, the cart is a cool tree guy. Like I don't know. I don't know why I love this so much.
Earth.
It gets me feeling some type of way, you know. I'm like, I want him to walk forward. We need to win, guys. We need to save this planet.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jake has not worn socks since he was 7 years old. You can catch the hippie over on Jake OW on Twitter. On behalf of everyone behind the scenes, we're only at halftime, bitches. When we come back, we're kicking off North America. Don't go anywhere. It's Rivals Fight Night.